Oh. Namaste. Welcome you all for the session on meditation. This is the 13th in this series. We are trying to explore our own minds to look at the kleshas or afflictions. According to sage Patanjali, there are 5 afflictions or kleshas which are the root cause of all our suffering. Avidya, Asmita, Raga, Dvesha, Abhinivesha, Klesha. We have seen the dimensions of Raga and Dvesha. Today we are going to look at another very subtle Klesha called Asmita. It's a very subtle thing. And if this affliction is coloring our thoughts, then that leads to a lot of disturbance. So that's why we need to understand and try to weaken this klesha. Drik darshana shaktyor ekatma iva asmita. This is the Patanjali Yoga Sutra. He says, mistaking the seer with the objects or instruments of seeing, that ignorance is called asmita. We will try to understand a bit, and today we will explore from this dimension and try to witness the thoughts from this dimension. We should remember that these practices do take time. Abhyasa, Vairagya, very essential. And unless we know how to weaken the grip of these kleshas, the peace of mind remains elusive. So now sit upright in any comfortable position. You can also sit on a chair. If you are sitting on the floor, sit at a little height. You can sit on a couple of blankets, hips on the blanket and legs down on the floor. Palms should face upward, tip of the thumb and index finger in contact. Gently close your eyes, relax your tongue, nose, throat and the jaws. Have complete musculoskeletal awareness. We shall start with the chanting of the sacred word Om. Of course, as we chant, we must be aware of the thoughts that could come, and we should know how to let go the thought and then get completely merged with the chanting of the word Om. You can join with me. Inhale. Be quiet. We are doing some mental experiments. To tune ourselves to be a witness to the thoughts that come. And if you have to witness, you must observe the thought and apply that non-attachment so that you are not washed away with the thought, and you will be able to let go the thoughts. So today we are going to go to the next level. It's a very subtle issue of the affliction called Asmita. So if you recognize this, you need to know a bit of what this mind is made up of. So now slowly open your eyes. So what you see on your screen on your left side is essentially what we call as the mind stuff. This is one unit, but functionally it has got 4 divisions: manas, chitta, buddhi, ahankara. So manas actually interacts with the outside world. It takes input from the 5 organs of perception. The input comes to manas. So several propositions, dispositions takes place here. Chitta is our storehouse. All our past experiences are stored here. And manas interacts with chitta. Then there is buddhi, that is the discriminative faculty. Manas will give a lot of propositions, but buddhi will ultimately discriminate and say this is to be done. And manas does that through organs of actions. There are 5 organs of perception, 5 organs of action that will be done. But this ahankara is not in the sense of ego, but it is that I amness, that is Asmita. This Asmita is that pure I amness. Fundamentally, that has to be there. So that is the most fundamental thing. But generally what happens, we mistake this seer or this pure I amness to be the instruments of seeing. And that is when Asmita becomes a klesha. We'll take a quick example. We see some object. The eyes will send the information. Through the eyes, the manas will recognize. Chitta will give you the memory. It will tell you this is what it is and all the experience associated with that. And if it is a pleasant experience, the manas will label it as I like it, because it's based on previous pleasant experience. Then buddhi, based on the situation, will tell you, okay, go get it, or wait, something. That is discriminative faculty. And because it is something pleasant, if we can get it, if we can experience it, naturally you feel happy. Now all these things are happening in the manas, chitta and buddhi. In this example, through the eyes, the information came to manas. Chitta had that memory and experience, because of which you say I love it, I like it. Buddhi said, okay, get it, you got it, you had the experience of that pleasure or happiness, whatever, and you say I am happy. So question is, I am happy means who is happy? The seer is always changeless. But all these things are happening in our mind stuff. Similarly, if you don't get that object, what you loved, you may feel sad. Then say, I am sad. So where is this sadness? This happiness, sadness are the emotions that are in our mind stuff. But the seer is always changeless. It's a very subtle thing that we have to understand. That what gives that basis or adhishtanam to all these experience, that remains changeless. To drive this example clearly, look at the electric bulb. There is a filament there. Filament is the one which gives light. But it is only an instrument. Electricity is what is behind it. Similarly, what is beyond this is seer. But we get confused or wrongly identify the seer to be the organs of or the instruments of seeing. So this you should generalize to all other organs, namely the tongue, ears, nose, skin. We mistake the seer with the instruments of seeing or instruments of perception or experience, and that is when the Asmita, that I amness, becomes klishta. If we are able to recognize that all these experiences are only in the mind stuff, and I am, that the seer, is only a witness to all these things, non-attached to the instruments of seeing or all these indriyas, then I remain as a changeless witness. Let us contemplate on this. Close your eyes. Well, we'll have a simple background music. Be aware. Sit upright. Be quiet. Let's try to explore this dimension of Asmita from our day-to-day experience. Let us start now. Be relaxed. Let us say we see a person X and that person X has met all your expectations, which means he has made you happy. Therefore, the moment you see him, I like him. Suppose that person X does not meet your expectations and he will so make you sad. And therefore, when you see him, then the label would be I don't like him or I hate him. And yes, same person X, sometimes we may like, sometimes we may hate. Contemplate on this. This we see in most of our relationships. When any of this person X gives sukha, we get that emotion of or the affliction of raga. If it is contrary, not meeting the expectations, the affliction of dvesha will emerge. So sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are sad. Same person X, it can happen. So now we have to look at more closely the eyes, see that person. Here we have to be very careful. When we say eyes see, it is the organ of seeing. Even with closed eyes, with the help of the memory, smriti or chitta, we can see that person. So it is not that we have to physically see, but that instrument of seeing, that is the fundamentally mind. So when that person X comes into the mind, either through our memory or through physically seeing, then some of the experiences with that person will emerge from chitta, and therefore there is either raga or dvesha to that person, depending upon whether that person X gives you, or that memory gives you pleasure or dukkha, sukha or dukkha. Now, this is the experience of sukha or dukkha will come. But that experiencer who is behind, that always remains the same. Please contemplate on this. You as the experiencer, because whatever you see, that experience from chitta, based on that, and there's buddhi or the discriminative faculty, which tells you that this is sukha, this is dukkha for you. But we think that I am happy, I am sad. But this I amness is nothing to do with the sukha or dukkha, it is beyond. So all these things are only to do with the impressions. And these impressions are in the mind stuff. And what enables you to witness we are not able to clearly see because we are attached to these experiences, and therefore we mistake the seer with the instruments of seeing. You as a seer are the same, but our experiences can be changing. We can see whether it is an object or a person or whatever it is. What we like today, we might not have liked yesterday. What we like today, we may not like tomorrow. That is, object being the same. Today it can give us pleasure, tomorrow it can give us sadness. Based on our expectations, experience. But if you know that you are the seer and not the organs or instruments of seeing, if you can recognize that pure I amness, which has no other colorings, then you can free yourself from the affliction of Asmita. It does not mean that we become a person without emotions. No. It simply means that you know that these are all happening with the instruments of perception. Then you will be more balanced person with no emotional upheavals. So this is a very, very subtle aspect which you should contemplate, not just during this session of a meditation, but in and through. Then it is possible to reduce the grip of this affliction. So please remember this beautiful statement of Patanjali. Darshana Shaktyor Ekatmayava Asmita. Asmita can become a strong affliction if you identify the seer with the instruments of seeing. Think about it. We shall contemplate more on these things. It's a very, very subtle thing. It takes some time to really sink in. But it is worthwhile doing that, because Patanjali is very, very categorical in saying that we should handle these afflictions, understand and handle them properly for us to progress in the path of meditation. And to such a great sage we shall prostrate.
शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि। योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचा मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि।
ಶ್ರೀಕೃಷ್ಣಾರ್ಪಣಮಸ್ತು. ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ಶುಭಮಸ್ತು.